Hey guys, welcome to Alan Wake. I first played this game back on the Xbox 360 way long ago, and I think I got about not even a third of the way into it. I think I got about a quarter of the way into it before I just moved on to something else because I could not stand hearing my Xbox 360 sound like it was gonna take off like a rocket. The way it sounded when I was playing the game, it sounded like the console was gonna explode. And I thought, you know what, I'll finish it later. Then it got released on PS4 and I still didn't play it even though I got it. But then finally I saw that finally I got my PS5 and I saw that the upgrade was available, so I definitely installed it then. And I've been playing a lot of Control recently, so that's made me really curious about Alan Wake and his story, because we kind of see the aftermath of the effects of it in Control a lot, especially in that DLC they released for him. So I want to see what happened here. Okay, let's set up the subtitles, make sure everything's film grain. Yeah, that's kind of one of those things I actually don't like, but since this is our first playthrough, I think we're just gonna leave it on. If it starts to bother me, maybe I'll turn it off. But yeah, I'm really curious to see how this game goes, so let's get started with Alan Wake. Easy, normal, nightmare. Let's play on normal. Nightmare's a bit too tough for us.
Stephen King once wrote that nightmares exist outside of logic, and there's little fun to be had in explanations. They're antithetical to the poetry of fear. In a horror story, the victim keeps asking why, but there can be no explanation, and there shouldn't be one. The unanswered mystery is what stays with us the longest, and it's what we'll remember in the end. My name is Alan Wake. I'm a writer.
That's not always true, though.
But this dream unsettled me. It was wild and dark and weird, even by my standards. So yes, it began with a dream. Following a typical nightmare pattern, I was late, desperately trying to reach my destination, a lighthouse. For some urgent reason, I couldn't remember. I'd been driving too fast down a coastal road to get there.
Damn, there goes that guy.
I'd seen the hitchhiker too late.
You can't just leave him there, Alan. That's how you get haunted.
They put me in jail and I would never see Alice again.
He's gone.
Suddenly, his body was gone.
Episode 1, Nightmare.
I was in shock from the crash. I could hardly stay on my feet.
The volume seems a bit low. I think I might want to up it a little bit. Let's see. Look to the light. Reverse your controls for looking up or down. No. Hell no. We don't want to do that. Why would we want to reverse the controls? L1 to sprint. Let's check the volume. Yeah, it's on high. Let me up it just a bit on the TV. Using the one now, I went just a tiny bit up like I do for the Spider-Man videos, since those videos also tend to sound a bit low. That game, the sound, it is a bit low, so I
had to
use
go
a
to
higher
the
volume.
lighthouse. I knew there was something important waiting for me there.
Oh yeah, there we go, that's fine. Yeah, I use a higher volume for Spider-Man than I do for Resident Evil and all the other games because it does tend to sound a bit low. Like even Control sounds louder than this one does, so I guess it's just this one. Yeah, remember Creepshow 2 with the hitchhiker? Classic segment. Leaving a dead hitchhiker there is a good way to get haunted. Don't do it. And Night Springs. Boy, have I heard a lot about that place. Playing Control, looking into some of its lore. Population 2,589, so it's like a mini Silent Hill. But boy, have I heard a lot about that place and what it inspired. I might go into some of the lore for Control as I play this, just because I've played so much of the game. I'm gonna try not to spoil any heavy plot elements, but I might reference a thing or two there. Like Night Springs definitely has some influence over what happened there. I've heard it stated outright. Is that him? Is that him? I can't tell. Have you seen this man? Yeah, that is him, isn't it? So it's kind of foreshadowing what's going to happen to him. He's going to end up missing. Alright, gotta get to the lighthouse. This game looks gorgeous. Oh shit, it's a haunted. Or as they call him, the Taken.
You don't even recognize me, do you, Ryder? You think you're God? You think you can just make up stuff? Play with people's lives and kill them when you think it adds to the drama? You're in this story now.
Oh damn, we almost died. What the hell? Just like that?
There would be a single readable sentence in your books if it wasn't for your editor. You'll never publish another one, you shitty stools. That's how I'm gonna.
Guess we gotta run for it.
It's not like your story's already good. Not like they have any artistic merit. You're a lousy writer. Cheap thrills and pretentious shit. That's all you're good for. Just look at me. Look at your work.
I'm guessing that's his subconscious expressing all his doubts he has about himself.
You missed your deadline!
And dodge enemy attacks. Press L1 to dodge. God damn. I'm guessing a lot of authors feel that way. Pretty much. They always doubt whether they're good or not. Oh, look at that, this little slow motion dodge, just like the Matrix.
I realized that the hitchhiker was a character from the story I'd been working on.
Look at that hiking sign. I've never been hiking, so I've never seen one of these signs in person. I don't think there are any places to hike around here. Maybe rural Pennsylvania, but that's a long way off. I'm stuck in the city in Philly. Also, I heard a lot of the rural places here in Pennsylvania are
How does it feel to die by the
not
hands
quite
of your
friendly,
own
if you know what I mean.
kind?
You do not want to go too close to them. Let's get the hell out of here, Alan. Trying to hurry up, man. You can only run so fast.
It's weak, it's me! I'm Stewart, remember? Quickly, get inside! There's no time to lose! Oh no!
I think that's it for Clay.
Stop! No! Damn it, die! No! No! No!
Damn. Isn't there also a character named Clay in the Friday the 13th remake?
There was no way out.
He's the guy played by the guy who played Dean on Gilmore Girls. Oh, there's Tom the Poet. I know this guy. He also gets mentioned in Control. I've heard him. That's a bit creepy. That's like something out of the Twilight Zone.
The cabin was a death trap. I had to get out.
Alright, so how do we get out there? God damn. Oh, there it is. There's our exit.
Follow the light.
Damn, we're almost dead. Can't the light heal us or something?
You should go into the light. You are only safe there.
Yeah, oh yeah, there we go, the light. The light does heal us. I remember this from the original game.
Well done. I have something important to tell you. It goes like this. For he did not know that beyond the lake he called home lies a deeper, darker ocean green, where waves are both wilder and more serene. To its ports I've been. To its ports I've been. Do you understand?
No.
Follow my light.
Yes, but I can't say it right now until the end.
The darkness is dangerous. It's sleeping now. When it feels you coming, it will wake up. There's no time. I can only show you the most important thing.
Yeah, that I do know, that only the light hurts the enemies.
This way. There's no time.
You see it in Control when you first stumble into the DLC with Jessie, even with all her powers. First time you fight one of those dark monsters, she almost gets killed, despite all her abilities.
You can't hurt him now. The darkness protects him from all harm. Only light can drive the darkness away and make him vulnerable again. Here, take the light. Turn the flashlight toward him and burn the darkness away.
Hell yeah. Take that, dark entity, whatever you are. Oops. There we go.
You did.
Alright, let's kill him.
Now the darkness no longer protects him, but it's still inside, controlling him. He can't be saved. He's still a threat. He is still your enemy. Here, take the gun.
Let's pick out the magic gun.
Now you'll die.
There we go. Nice headshot. Oh, he's still alive.
Good. You've done well. Remember what I've taught you. That is all. I will give you back your dream now.
Yeah, I know who that is, but I'm not gonna say.
In the nightmare, a terrible darkness was taking over the world. The lighthouse was the last safe place on Earth.
Hey, we got a trophy. Follow the light. Yeah, even with all those crazy powers you get in Control, the dark entities there are still pretty tough. Without the light, they can't be defeated, so...
This way, and now I'm gonna
No, you won't. Damn, he just died. Oh, there he is. He's still there. I thought he fell down a cliff.
This is it, witch!
Really? Float like a butterfly, like Muhammad Ali. Damn, I keep confusing it with Control. You press square to activate things there and pick up items. I keep confusing it with Control. Use the D-pad to switch weapons and throwables. Okay, so we got a flare gun. Can we switch stances, or is he always aiming from the left? Because that kind of bugs me a bit. Just a bit. There's that coffee thermos. Another reference in Control. Seen that one.
Just like...
Oh, you got two of them. Yeah, take that, you freaks. Weirdos. Are they dead? I think they're dead. Let's see. Drop hazard. Gotta reach that lighthouse.
I can keep this up forever!
Alright, let's run for it. Man, what a nightmare. It's like Donkey Kong tossing a whole bunch of barrels. We're almost at the lighthouse, we're almost there. It's our safe haven. That was a safe haven in Silent Hill Shattered Memories too. Although for a very different reason there. Yeah, let's make sure to get the all-important thermos before we go in there. Come on, Wake. Move those legs, man, move. Oh, we made it. Hell yeah. So this is how it all started, huh?
Shh, baby. Just another nightmare. Everything's fine.
Alice.
You dozed off.
I know her already.
Anything more than dozed off would be news for everyone.
Cheer up, handsome. We're here.
I know Max Payne was Remedy's first successful series, but this is pretty much where it all started, right? The what's now become like the Remedy Connected Universe. Remedy Cinematic Universe. Oh, Bright Falls. If we've played Control, you know what this place is, right? This place is one giant, what they call an AWE, and I will not go into it, what that abbreviation stands for, but it's pretty much what this place is.
Go stand next to that old gentleman there. I want a shot of you with the town in the background.
Sure. I'll even give you a title for the shot. A city boy. Moments
Look at the
before he
cars
got
on the
eaten by a
bridge.
bear.
That's cool.
Hi.
Hello there. You picked a good time to visit our town. Deerfest is just 2 weeks away.
Deerfest, huh? Did you hear that, honey?
Deerfest.
You have a lovely wife, if you don't mind me saying. I'm Pat Maine, by the way. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm Alan Wake.
I won't pretend I don't recognize a famous writer such as yourself, Mr. Wake. A pleasure. I'm an avid reader myself. I hope this isn't too presumptuous of me, but I'm the night host at the local radio station. Any chance I can get an interview?
Look, Mr. Maine, I'm on vacation. In fact, I'd appreciate it if we could keep my being here just between the two of us. I'm sure you understand.
Fair enough. You can trust me to be listening. Not a hard man to track down if you change your mind, though. I hope you two have a lovely holiday.
Yeah, we're on vacation, Miss Maine. We don't have time for interviews. So this is how they bring the cars over to island resorts like this. That's pretty cool. Or resort towns, whatever this is. But This reminds me of when finale of Home Improvement when they decided to move and Tim Taylor took the whole house on a boat. The whole freaking house with like the lot and everything all on one boat.
Very nice. I got a couple of really good ones. And I see you made a friend. That's cute.
Right. Yeah?
Hey, bestseller, how's my favorite writer? Are you there yet?
Barry. Yeah. We just got him.
Are the locals giving you trouble? Just say the word and I'll hop on a plane and come make sure that you're left alone, Al.
No, Barry, we're fine.
Great. Just want to make sure you can relax and recharge. So, how is the place? Has it got your creative juices flowing?
Barry, we're just settling in.
Okay, Al. I'll call back later to make sure you're doing okay. And you call me if there's a problem, okay? Okay. I'm just looking out for you, buddy. Talk to you later.
I love you too, Barry.
Yeah, because he's his moneymaker. He wants that cash.
Calling you every 5 minutes.
Barry is Barry. I can always turn off the phone.
What did I tell you?
Text message from Barry. He says hi to you too.
Those boots are
Alan,
pretty
we're
nice.
here. Come on, let's get back to the car.
We need to stop at the local diner to get the cabin key from the landlord, a Mr. Carl Stuckey. He's waiting for us. I'll go fill her up while you get the key. I'll pick you up here in, say, 15 minutes.
Sure.
Alan, thank you for coming here with me.
I love you too. Go on. I'll promise to behave. I'd forgotten there were still places like this. Towns where everybody knew everybody.
Welcome to the Oh Dear Diner.
Hi, I was wondering if you could help me. I'm looking for...
Mr. Wake. Alan Wake. Oh, God! I am your biggest fan. I know people say that all the time, but I really am.
I'm glad to hear that.
Rose.
Rose, I'm looking for Mr. Stuckey. Carl Stuckey?
Carl? Oh, of course, Mr. Wake. He must have gone to visit the restroom. He'll be back in a moment.
They even got a cardboard stand out of him and
I
everything.
got all your books. I got the cutout from the bookstore when they took it out of the window.
And you keep it here. Well, okay.
Oh, so
Good for
she
you.
brought that thing. Well, that's the movie. Langston was gonna see over in Control.
Just don't blame me when you fall in love, 'cause it'll break your heart when you have to leave.
Rusty here is no longer human. Nothing but black coffee under a thin layer of skin.
Yeah, that makes two of us.
Looks nice in that suit.
Right. So much for a
Staying
quiet
long, Mr. Wake?
vacation.
I can't believe it. I'm having a conversation with Alan Wake. Are you on your own, or is your wife with you? I can show you the town if you want. I get off work at 6.
Thanks, Rose. We'll be sure to keep that in mind.
Quite a fangirl.
Do me a favor, Sonny. I could really use a tune right now. Coconut, number 6 in the jukebox. I'd do it myself, but both of my legs have gone to sleep. Bad circulation. Yeah.
Are you serious? Coconut again? You disgust me. Call yourself a rocker. Unbelievable.
Ah, it does that. Get stuck. Yeah, you need to give it a good solid whack. Now that's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Like a computer, right? Just give it one solid whack and
This
it goes
is
back
it.
to working.
I've died and gone to hell.
Oh, he's jamming on the table. I know there's like a fake version of him called Mr. Scratch. Like, is that like his dark side or just a copy made of him? I guess we'll find out later on. And I know that's a big thing, especially in the DLC. Is the DLC included in this? I completely forgot to check. Hey, it's Coffee World, where the fun is percolating. Rides, games, petting zoos, and an endless supply of rich, full-bodied coffee is found for the whole family. Oh good, so you can give your 6-year-old child coffee. Just don't give your pet coffee, because that'll kill him. but everyone else can partake in the coffee just like in Italy. Sip some nice cappuccino. Tickets for the grand opening are going fast. Buy yours today. We gonna visit Coffee World in the game or not?
Don't go in there, young man. You can hurt yourself in the dark.
I think I can handle it, ma'am. I didn't want to wait. I wanted to find Stucky, to get the key and get out as soon as possible. The waitress was giving me a headache. Overeager fans always did.
I'm sure James Caan's character from Misery would agree with the overzealous fans. He, after his experience, the last thing he wants to hear ever is I'm your biggest fan. And that's some nightmare words right there. I see a Stucky stuck
Hello?
in there.
Mr. Stucky?
Is he stuck? He fell in the toilet?
Carl couldn't make it. Unfortunately, he was taken ill.
Oh.
But I have the key for you and instructions on how to get to the lake.
Okay.
I wish you a good stay in my cabin. I'll come by later to check how you've settled in. And to meet your wife.
Yeah, that's not ominous.
Thanks.
Yeah, never take strange keys from some weird looking lady with an odd ring on her finger. That's not suspicious at all.
It's a special place. Very inspiring.
Sorry, lady, I've heard all about Silent Hill. I'm done with special places. That just means creepy or supernatural.
This time, young man, you can hurt yourself in the dark. This really ought to be fixed, and then I must remind Sarah to change the lights at the station. It's been too long already.
But I get the feeling she knows more than she lets on, and she's not just talking metaphorically as she is talking to don't venture into the dark.
Even that sounds better than your singing.
Are you alright?
Splendid! Damn hernia. It swells up like a balloon if I lift it. It's heavier than a spoon. Yep. Splendid. It's been a long time, Tom. Good to see you.
Hey, you wouldn't happen to have a bottle on you, would you, Tom?
I wish.
That's an odd tune. I get the name though, Coconut. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like that kind of like tropical inspired song.
They're local musicians. We're waiting for Dr. Hartman to come pick them up. They wandered off from his clinic at the Cauldron Lake Lodge.
You should get that hernia checked up. Oh man, trust me, from somebody who went for with an hernia for like 2 years, you do not want to leave that
I'll be heading
unchecked.
back to work as soon as Dr. Hartman gets here, Rose. Oh, but I'm not looking forward to the poison we have at the Park Cafe.
That hat just reminds me of the whole silly business people had where
is what coffee should
when
taste like.
Stranger Things came out, people for some people that was the first time ever seeing a sheriff with a hat like this. And so then when Leon got his sheriff outfit in Resident Evil 2, the first thing they asked was, why is he wearing the clothes from like a... Why is he wearing the clothes from the sheriff from Stranger Things?
Dear is dear to me, my dear, in more
As if old-fashioned sheriffs didn't exist before Stranger Things.
Oh dear. That's not
She
really
just
our
been?
festival anthem.
Could have fooled me there.
Yeah, it's like nobody's ever seen this type of hat outside of a Stranger Things.
Alice was outside.
I know he's a park ranger, not a sheriff, but still. You're like, come on, man. You never heard of Twin Peaks or the X-Files or any of the other thousands of games or TV shows or movies that had sheriffs like that? Come on, man. Night of the Living Dead, zombie movies. Like, you never saw any of that? That Stranger Things was the first time you ever saw freaking sheriff's outfit? I can understand if you're like 8 or 10 years old, but come on, man. Like 16, 20, like that's the first time you ever seen an old-fashioned sheriff's outfit? Stranger Things? Come on, man. There's thousands of sheriffs. Bye, overzealous fangirl. I hope you don't get killed by those dark freaks out there. Hope the monsters don't get you. They probably
Mission
will.
accomplished. The key and the directions.
My hero. I got some flashlights, just in case.
Those take and don't spare anyone.
Mrs. Wake! You're
Oh, that's Stucky. He looks exactly like what I'd expect a guy named Stucky to look like.
That diner was a real nut house.
Old-fashioned rural mechanic. Yeah, that diner was straight out of Twin Peaks.
Can you believe this place?
I gotta see that series.
Wonderful setting for a book.
We're supposed to be on vacation, Alice. I'll figure it out when we get back home. Okay.
Yeah, that's not creepy. Driving to some isolated house in the middle of a lake. Oh boy.
I didn't want to talk about it. I wanted to bury my head in sand.
Here's another one of my favorites to go with it.
Once upon a time, I was a successful writer, but that was a long time ago. I hadn't been able to write a word in 2 years, not since my last book.
And now the weather.
That's kind of something that I've heard about writer's block, that you sometimes have to force yourself to write, because otherwise then it becomes impossible. You know, like if you don't make the effort, you won't get started anywhere. So sometimes even if you have writer's block, you just have to force yourself to power through it. That's what I've heard, you know, because like that's pretty severe to not even write a single word. Like you have to power through it at that point. Otherwise there's no, you know, you're never gonna get started.
Wow.
Diver's Isle.
It's something, all right. Don't worry, honey. I'll get you inside safe and sound before it gets dark. And I've got the flashlight.
I know. I'm okay.
Alice had a phobia. The fear of darkness. I wanted to make sure we were inside with the lights on before sunset.
Yeah, who doesn't? Except for vampires and goths, you know, and barflies. They don't mind the darkness, but everyone else is kind of afraid of it.
Are you sure you read the directions right? It's nothing like in the brochure. It said near the lake, not on it. Don't get me wrong. This is so much better. It's wonderful. Our own private island.
Imagine a Friday the 13th movie where they were just stuck with Jason on a private island and you couldn't leave. Like, that would really be an interesting film. You know, like after a while, instead of evading him, you'd actually have to turn to hunt him instead. That would be pretty cool. I know they want to do a snow-themed Friday the 13th movie set in winter, but they got all the legal issues getting in the middle of that. But yeah, that would be cool. I guess you could do it with any random killer, but I prefer Jason just because like this does look like the type of setting he'd be at. You know, like if there's some island close to Crystal Lake somewhere, I don't know, maybe some private island close to New Jersey, wherever you could kind of set people there, and maybe he'd end up there somehow. Somehow he ends up there, and basically they're all trapped with him. But then after a while, it starts to be at a point where he's trapped with them. Like that would be a pretty cool premise, I think, if instead of just fighting back like the protagonists usually do, like if it actually start to actively hunt Jason. And maybe we even get a few scenes from his point of view, you know, when the tables turn and suddenly he's the prey. Especially if there's more than one of them around. Boy, the character model work has really improved. I know it's a really old game, but even just from this to Control, there's a huge leap already. Like you can tell with the way Jesse's eyes are much more expressive on Control. And I hear you saying, "Duh, it's a PS4 or Xbox One game," but still, like they improved a lot drastically from like Alan Wake on the 360 to Control on the Xbox One and PS4. They improved a lot.
Here we go. Let's take a look inside.
Like these character models definitely remind me a bit of Silent Hill Homecoming, kind of that same texture work. Yeah, some games, even though overall the game looks gorgeous, but in terms of the character detail, some games do look pretty rough from that era. 360, PS3, not gonna lie, some of them do look pretty rough. It's not because the developers didn't try. Obviously, Remedy is one of the most hardest working developers around. It's just like, I don't think people had quite gotten, they hadn't quite yet gotten the hang of the PS3 and 360 hardware at a certain point.
A shoebox filled with books by Thomas Zane sat on the shelf. I'd never heard of him before,
Anyone here?
Yeah, we know why, because if you played Control, goddamn, I said I was gonna mention it only a couple times. They're actually mentioning it a lot. But yeah, if you played Control, you know what happened to him. Without getting into a spoiler, let's just say he did not have the most pleasant of experiences here. Let's leave it that way. There's a thermos. Gotta get 100 of these bitches. That's a funny thing too. Like they couldn't figure out why Alan was collecting the thermoses. I'm sure they'll explain it here, what function they actually serve. Or do they serve a function? Maybe they're just random thermoses. He's just picking them up for the hell of it. Ever since I saw Evil Dead 2, all I can think of when I see these heads in video games or movies or TV shows is just when the deer head started coming to life and cackling at him in that movie.
The cabin looked like a time capsule from the 60s, or even earlier.
He was jamming, by the way. The voice actor who does this voice, I think it's called like Matt Peretta. He was at the Game Awards tonight, or yesterday evening rather. He was jamming. He was close to the stage. What's the guy's name? The one who writes the games, Sam. Is it Sam Lake? Yeah, it is Sam Lake, right? He got on stage and started dancing. So, creator was dancing. Dr. Darling from Control was getting down. He was jamming down. The face model for Alan Wake was there doing all the moves. So it was a pretty cool performance. Goofy looking, you know, intentionally goofy looking, but it was still pretty cool. They even had the band that doubles as the Old Gods of Asgard band in the Remedy universe. What are they called? I know their name has something to do with poets. That's what I just don't remember the exact name. But yeah, it was a pretty fun time. Probably one of the highlights of the show. And Alan Wake 2 took home more prizes than I expected. God damn, it won like 5 or 6 awards. Like, it was awesome. I haven't played it because it's all digital, but I'll play it eventually. Is there really nothing we can interact with here? Oh, we have to get the power on. What are we doing?
For a moment, the oppressive feel of the nightmare I had seen on the ferry returned.
Oh boy, here we go. Is this where she disappears?
I needed to get the power running in the cabin. There had to be a fuse box or a generator somewhere on the island.
That's an old-fashioned diving suit, right? I recognize that from Miles Morales. They had one of those diving suits on display in the Oscorp Science Center. Pretty cool. Pretty sure I've also seen one on the Franklin Institute over here. I'm pretty sure they had one of those old-fashioned diving suits there. It's amazing how people got in those suits in the early, like, 20th century and late 19th century, not knowing whether they would fully protect them or not. Because if the suit goes, you're pretty much doomed. Like, you're just gonna, your head is like gonna depressurize, and that's all she wrote for you. You're just gonna die in that suit if it stops working the way it's supposed to. So that was pretty brave of people in like the late 1800s and early 1900s to go deep in the water with those suits, not knowing whether they would even work all that well to protect them.
Alan, honey, can you open the door?
Door's open, come on. My allergy's starting to bug me a bit, so apologize if you can hear it. You'd figure with winter being here that it would be safer for allergy sufferers, but no, the air in Philadelphia, at least over here, is still kind of
Allison
crap.
told me about Cauldron Lake Lodge. The old building used to be a hotel, but these days it was no longer open to the public.
So this was obviously inspired a bit by Silent Hill, and also The Shining. You can tell right now the lodge / hotel overlooking the mountains and the lake. And obviously you have the Lakeview Hotel in Silent Hill 2, so obviously this was inspired by that, at least partially. You said open the door. Where's the door?
An old generator had been connected to the power cable.
So he's the type that narrates everything. Oh, we gotta do this. Let there be light. Those always throw me off for a minute because I assume you have to mash the X button or whatever it is, the circle button, whichever prompt the game gives you. And no, usually it is like that. You have to mash the highlighted area. They made fun of that in Strays, the comedy movie with the dogs, where they had narrator dog.
Good work, honey. I'll freshen up a bit and start settling in.
Okay.
And
I'll look around a bit.
Sure thing. Have fun.
yeah, you had narrator dog, who the other dog were making fun of him because he narrates his owner's entire life.
Place. I told myself I could rest here, sleep here, and forget about my work. I thought we could be happy here.
Yeah, let's look around for a bit. The funny thing about that dog is they weren't paying any attention to him, so they basically wandered off. And like 5 seconds later, the narrator dog basically states, it's too bad nobody was interested in my story. Otherwise they would have realized my owner is a vicious serial killer. I forgot the guy's name, but yeah. It wasn't Doug. Doug was the main antagonist, but yeah, had they stayed and listened to him 5 seconds longer, they would have realized that the owner wasn't picking up a girl just to pick her up. He was actually a serial killer on the hunt for prey, and the dog is the only one who knows, but nobody ever listens to him. None of the other dogs or animals ever listen to him, so they have no idea that he's owned by a serial killer. That was a pretty grim joke to have in a movie like that. God damn. You know, because like I said, the joke is that it's like the main buddy dog said, it's one of those narrator dogs that constantly narrates their owner's lives, and he thought they were all just boring and droning non-stop about nothing. And it turns out that no, like this dog actually has something pretty important to say that the authorities would probably appreciate, but nobody ever pays attention to him, so the guy just keeps on killing. Like, god damn. Do you imagine being in that situation, being a dog, or being some type of animal, and knowing that your owner is a serial killer and you can do nothing to stop them? All you can do is just watch, and if you're a loyal animal, I guess just help them out. Help them gather prey. But imagine being in that situation. You know you're the only living soul on the earth that knows this person is a serial killer, and you have no power to stop them whatsoever. That is a grim, dark joke for that movie. Whoever thought we'd see that type of joke in a movie about talking dogs? Certainly not me.
The island had once been the site for a love story. Maybe it would be that again.
So there's TZ plus BJ. Oh boy, we know TZ is Thomas Zane, but I don't think BJ quite stands for what it obviously means in the popular lexicon. Or maybe it does. Maybe he's getting freaky with people in that type of way. Yeah, I'm suspicious of that, BJ. God, I hope that stands for something like Barbara Joe or something. Because god damn, that's in innuendo right in plain sight, right off the bat.
Alan, you've got the key to the front door.
Woman, the door was open. Come on, man. Stop nagging me. I'm trying to watch the wilderness.
Alice? Honey?
test guests have already started to arrive. Just ran into one on the ferry. A famous artist, no less.
Oh no.
We'll see if we can rope him into an interview later on.
Just had to mention him.
Go to the phones, caller. You're on KBF-FM.
Hi, Pat. It's Rose.
Why, hello, Rose. What's on your mind?
I know who that famous artist was. It was Alan Wake, wasn't it? He's my favorite writer.
God damn it, man.
I saw him at the diner.
Can't even get a freaking cup of coffee without being exposed by everyone.
Sure he's glad to be here, too. Well, folks, I guess the secret's out. This is Pat Maine on KBF-FM. And now, some music.
Great. So much for keeping a low profile.
Damn, Alan. Pat sold you out and he didn't even mean to. He sold you out without even meaning to.
A trick on me. Alice wouldn't have come out in the dark.
Mr. Resident Evil, as soon as we stood on that pier and shot something into it, a giant monster would eat us. They kept that for the RE4 remake too, when you stand at the end of the pier and you shoot a few bullets into the, I think you shoot like 3 bullets into the water, the giant salamander just comes and eats you outright. And you even get a trophy for it too. I think you get a trophy for it. That was months ago, so I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure you get a trophy for it. Of course, you just have to try it the first time just to see if it's still there. Thomas Zane, the labyrinth of me, the temple of shadow and mist, in her dreams to prevail, kept from sleep. They do sound like Dean Koontz / Stephen King types of works. Especially the one about dreams, in her dreams to prevail. That one reminds me of a bit about what dreams may come. That was the Robin Williams movie, wasn't it? I gotta watch that movie. I've heard it's like some kind of ethereal like journey to the afterlife, and it's actually one of Robin's more serious roles, but it still has like a fun supernatural element to it. So, I gotta watch that movie. I know Vanilla Sky is similar to that also, but Vanilla Sky with Tom Cruise, that's more sci-fi, whereas What Dreams May Come is more spiritual. So I gotta check out that movie. I've always heard about it for years on end, but I've never actually watched it. It's like the Shawshank Redemption, you know. I know everything that happens in the movie, but I've never actually sat down and watched the movie.
Alan, come here.
All right, Jesus, hold your horses, woman. Oh, she's got a great surprise then. If her jeans are off, let's go. Oh yeah, there it is. Let's go, Alan. Let's get some before the darkness comes.
I'm not the surprise. It's in the study. Go take a look.
Oh, boo. Boo. I thought she was a surprise. Oh.
Surprise.
Oh, damn.
Alice?
This infernal thing.
I guess I have a small confession to make. I thought maybe you could write here that a change of scenery would get you past...
Damn it, Alice. Everyone
Hey, just hear me out. There's a local doctor, Dr. Hartman. I read a book of his. He has a private clinic here. He specializes in helping artists.
So now you want to get me committed?
No, it's not like that. That's not... Alan?
You saw the shadow there?
Alan? Just don't. I don't want to hear it. God damn it, Alice.
Damn it, you don't have to be an asshole, Alan.
I knew
Christ.
she wouldn't follow me in the dark. I needed some time alone to think things through.
Like, knowing what we know now, she definitely shouldn't have gotten him that typewriter. Knowing what we know about it, but at the same time, Alan, you don't have to be that much of an asshole. She's trying to help you out.
Damn it.
And of course, you storming out is what starts the whole thing.
Alice?
Alice? Alice!
Yeah, Alan, you jackass.
The cabin had gone dark. All the lights were out.
Alan, where are you? Help!
Alice, I'm coming!
It's too late.
Help me!
What the hell?
Bird Leg Cabin. Well, it lives up to its name.
Alice? Alice?
Why'd you leave like that, Alan? Why did you leave like that, like an asshole? You could have prevented this whole thing.
Oh no!
Oh boy. Oh. So this is what they mean by he dove into Cauldron Lake. Oh no.
Alice?
This is where it all begins. This is where Alan Wake's entire world goes to shit. You should not have dived in that lake, man. You should not have dived in that freaking lake.
I felt like I had woken from one nightmare
This is,
and entered another.
This is the start of a very long and unending hell for you.
All I knew was that something terrible had happened to Alice.
You think?
The phone was dead. I'd have to find help on foot.
I'm gonna play for a bit more, but I think I'm gonna cut it off. I'm gonna cut it off in a few minutes because I actually want to sit down and watch either Night of the Living Dead remake from 1990 or another remake I want to watch. I recently did a tier maker list on horror remakes. I thought I'd watched a lot of them, but then I did that list and it turns out that out of like 65 horror remakes I've only watched 14. And 15 now because I watched Carrie from 2013 yesterday, and I watched it last night. It was actually kind of decent. Not scary, but it was faithful to the Stephen King story. So it's one of those adaptations where even though it's faithful, it's not really scary. Like it got the details right, it got the narrative right, but the actual scares were missing. But other than that, it wasn't bad. Like I have no complaints about it aside from certain things could have been better and scarier.
Among Alice's things was a book, The Creator's Dilemma, by a Dr. Emil Hartman. Seeing the book brought back my fight with Alice. I didn't like it, and I didn't like the guy's smug face on the cover either.
Boy. Dr. Hartman. Dr. Hartman. This son of a bitch is a nasty bastard. And he becomes nastier in control, like Jesus Christ. That guy is a freaking menace. Dr. Hartman. He is a freaking menace. Yeah, so after finding out that I basically have like a 44 remakes to go to watch all that stuff before I can properly complete the list, I'm gonna actually sit down and try to watch at least one of them every day, maybe two if we can squeeze into time. But yeah, I thought I watched a lot of horror movies. Turns out I haven't watched jack. Like I said, I only watched like 14 out of 65. But at the same time, I did make it easier on myself by excluding around 8 that I know for a fact are absolutely terrible, and I'm not going to subject myself to them because they're absolute horse shit. So I don't need to watch those.
The gas station was my best bet. They'd have a phone I could use. It looked like a long hike through the forest to get there.
I think around that gas station, I was about to say around that gate. No, around that gas station is when I kind of dropped off from the original Xbox version, because that was when the console started to sound like it was going to take off and explode like a rocket ship. So I was like, hell no, if I keep playing this game, it's going to kill my 360. And that's already on its last legs. So, and that 360 is one of 3 I've gotten. Like the first one I had to send it from Microsoft, they sent it back repaired. Then I had to send it again back to Microsoft. Again they sent it back repaired. And then on the third time they sent me one which was obviously a replacement and not the actual console repaired after the Red Ring of Death. That was when I sent it in the first 2 times. But on the third time I actually got one with an HDMI switch, which was an adjustment for me because I always used the composite cables. But then once I got an HDTV and I was able to properly hook it up, I realized how much better it was in HDMI, how much better the quality is for pictures, for games and movies. So yeah, that was the last 360 I ever got back from Microsoft after I sent it in for repair, and I got a completely different console, a better console. But still, it could not handle Alan Wake, and I swear, like the system get noisy as hell. Got noisy as fuck. And damn. Oh boy. There goes our car. Or Hartman's car, whoever that car was. Wherever it belonged to. But yeah, the console just could not handle the game well. It sounded like it was about to explode, and I got concerned because like I said, I'd already sent it in twice to get the ring of death repaired, and I knew for a fact that the warranty was pretty much up. You know, there's no sending it in back after that. If the console blew for whatever reason, there's no sending it in back for repairs. We just had to get a new one, so I just stopped playing the game. Then I got wrapped up in other games and did not return to this for a very long time until now. I mean, I guess I kind of returned to the story through Control, but I didn't return to this actual game until now. And now I'm actually pretty interested in the lore and see where everything goes. So I hope to play the second one soon. But the thing is, I'm gonna wait for a sale, because I just do not want to pay full price for a digital game. Like, there's no physical copy. Someone I watched, who's a streamer, speculated that after they're all done with the DLC and upgrades and everything, they'll make a physical copy and sell it. But I'm not so sure. And even if they do, like, that'll probably take them months and months. We won't see that until maybe like the middle of next year. So I'm just gonna wait for a sale. I just cannot pay $60 for a full copy of that. And one of the selling points of going all digital by Remedy, even though it was obviously Epic Games that pushed them into it, like, that's not even in question, it was obviously Epic Games, but one of the selling points was that they said, oh, you know, there's no downside to it, because now, since we're not manufacturing physical properties, I mean, we're not manufacturing physical copies, we can release the game complete. We don't have to do any day one patches or anything. It's gonna be complete. You can play it right from day one, and it's got nothing to fix. And oh boy, did that turn out to be a lie. The game was not complete. It was maybe 85 to 90% complete, compared to like Spider-Man, which is around like 75% complete. But goddamn, incomplete is still incomplete. You know, you did nothing, Remedy. You still have the same problem that Spider-Man and RoboCop had. You just made it. We just made it worse, because now people can't even get actual physical copies. So great going, Remedy. You solved nothing. You solved absolutely nothing. Although, like I said, it's really Epic Games' fault. It's not really Remedy's. They can only do what the publisher tells them to. And since the publisher was the one who offered them to make Alan Wake 2 in the first place, you know, Microsoft didn't want to do it unless Remedy sold them the rights to Alan Wake, which would be suicide. It would be suicide for the series and the universe, because then, you know, you can't do anything else with the lore referencing Alan Wake. And Microsoft is so freaking lazy that they're just gonna sit on the franchise for like 10 years and not do anything with it. You know, Killer Instinct finally got revived a couple of weeks ago, where they're saying they're doing more upgrades. But then some of the other series or franchises that Microsoft owns, like Banjo-Kazooie and Conquer, Spat Fur Day, and all that stuff, like they ain't doing shit with that. Microsoft just likes to buy developers on studios and companies so that no one else can use it, but then they don't do anything with them themselves, so they're just collecting them. It's like a warped version of Thanos collecting all the Infinity Stones, but then he actually doesn't do anything with them. He just keeps them on a gauntlet on his hand and doesn't do jack with them. That's pretty much Microsoft. They buy up all these studios, saying, "Oh, we're gonna advance game development. We're gonna do things you can't believe. We're gonna do things that were impossible to do before," and then they don't do shit. They do jack with these studios. They don't do crap. And it's very frustrating for fans of the Xbox. But what are you gonna do? That's Microsoft, man. Which, not so coincidentally, is one reason why I don't own an Xbox. You know, not only do I not like most of the games on there in terms of the system's library, I also don't like the fact that Microsoft just keeps buying all these studios just to do nothing with them. You know, no new Crash Bandicoot, no new Spyro, no new Conquer, no new Killer Instinct. You know, Rare's been working on, what's that game called, Sea of Thieves, and it finally got a release date because they're basically forcing them to release it. Some country in the European Union sued them and basically tell them, if you don't release this game, you're going to be in serious legal trouble. So they have no choice but to release it, and they aimed for next February next year. But yeah, trust me, they did not want to release that game as it is, but they've run out of time. The EU courts literally told them, you got to release this game or you're in serious financial trouble. So they have no choice but to release it. But if it were from Microsoft, if it were Microsoft decision only, they would be working on that game for like the next 6 years.
Manuscript entitled Departure. That was the name I planned to use for the next novel I had never gotten started. I was named the author. I hadn't written it. I couldn't remember writing it. In the scene on the page, the hero was attacked by an axe murderer in the woods at night.
I've heard about that too, how he's also working on a separate story in the DLC called Return. Found manuscript pages, you can access them with the center button. I have no idea what the center button on the PS5 controller is called, or even what it's called in the PS4.
Departure by Alan
I just
Wake.
refer to it as the center button. I like how he narrates the files, because our control doesn't do that, and sometimes it's tedious reading through those endless piles of text. Like, all the lore is fascinating, that just very few documents that are actually boring in control. Usually they're pretty juicy and spicy, but the problem is there's no narrator for them, so you pretty much have to read them all on your own. White text against a black screen, and it can get pretty tedious at some points. You know, there's or black text against white paper, white typewritten paper, because they can only use typewriters and old-fashioned equipment in the setting they're in control. I won't go into it, but there's a reason why they can't use newer technology, but that means you're basically like looking at these old-fashioned documents, and boy is it tedious sometimes. It's just very hard to read it because there's so much of it. It's overwhelming, you know. So as fascinating as the lore is, I would have appreciated a narrator for some of them, just for a few. Not all of them, just for a few.
The man turned to face me. His face was covered in shadows. It was hard to make him out in the darkness of the forest that surrounded us, but the axe he lifted was plain to see. It glistened with the blood of his victim. He grinned madly. The shadows were alive, distorting his features. It was a scene from a nightmare, but I was awake.
Yeah, very nice narration there by whatever that actor's name is, Matthew Parada. I forgot his name. And he's Dr. Darling too, which is a shame because, like I said, I've been playing tons of Control. You'd think I'd remembered his actual name, but no, I just keep forgetting it. Oh, Matthew Parada? Is that what his name is? I just keep forgetting it, but yeah, he does good work. Also, you notice one thing about this that he's a good writer, but you notice one thing about this that I've had to learn as a writer myself, as a fan fiction writer, just doing it for fun, you know, because I don't want to be a professional writer. They get paid like crap. Only one in like every 30 actually makes a profit, so I would have thought before it would be like 1 out of 12, but no, it's like 1 out of 30 or 1 out of 50 that actually makes a profit, and only like 1 out of 100 that actually makes a decent profit off of writing. So I don't want to be a professional writer. I write solely for fun and my own amusement. But one thing I've had to learn, you notice what he's doing there, with the exception of the second sentence, they're all short. Like sometimes you might want to go on and on about a sentence or about a situation in your story, but sometimes it is best just to do quick, concise sentences, you know. Most people should probably stick with the middle ground because it can be very hard to describe things in very short sentences. But then you can also go overboard with it, like J.R.R. Tolkien, where he would write like an entire page describing a tree and a bush. You know, an entire page devoted to one tree and the bush beside it. Like, for most people, it's better to be in the middle ground, and the middle ground is like I say, you want to be in the middle ground, like between this and between like Dracula, where it has like endless sentences that go on and never end. For most people, you probably want to live in the middle ground if you want to be a writer, you know. Like, you don't want to go as simple as Alan is doing here, because it actually takes a surprising amount of skill to write as simple as he's doing right here. Like, whoever wrote this, I assume it's Sam Lake, but whoever wrote this is actually a pretty good writer, because they can describe things efficiently and still keep it vivid in your imagination. They don't have to go into excess detail. So that can be pretty tough to do. This game has automatic save points, doesn't it? I assume it saves automatically, because I'm not seeing a save feature. Yeah, restart checkpoint, manuscript, options, statistics. What's that? Oh, we've killed 3 enemies with a flare gun, 1 with a revolver, and direct kills 1, batteries used 2. coffee thermoses, 4 out of 100. Damn, this is 106 manuscript pages, so that's literally his own novel right there. It's pretty awesome. The TV shows found. I know what those are. The Night Springs TV show episodes, where he wanted to write one. He wanted to be a writer on the show. Oh yeah, before I forget, what he was saying about the beginning, how sometimes you don't want to know an explanation why. That's not strictly true, because some scenarios do require an explanation. Like, that's what they did with Phantasm. They tried to string it up for too long, and the problem ended up being that as they ran out of money for each entry, like, you know, you got to a point where you were at entry 4, you were at part 4, part 5 of the series, and you're still not getting any answers. Then finally, Don raised a minuscule amount of money to finish off the series and give you answers in part 5, and they still didn't answer everything. But yeah, like, there are some situations where you want to know the answer, like with The Thing from John Carpenter. Like, as much as it is the first time you watch that movie to delve into the fun of what's happening and try to figure out what's going on, like, at some point you do want to reveal that the alien is responsible, you know, because that's when the characters can actually take action. You know, if you string out a mystery too long, like I say, you become Phantasm, where it just starts to lose its power.
Anybody there? Please! I've been in an accident!
Yeah, you don't want his help, Alan. That's no good. That's a red flag right there. Or should it be a black flag, since it's covered in shadow? Yeah, you do not want that thing's help. What's another series that strung out the mystery for too long? I think Legacy of Kain is one of those. Like, I remember reading for the Defiance review in IGN, and I'll never forget this. The author of that review says, if we didn't get, he started off by saying, if we didn't get answers in this entry, the 5th entry in the series, I was just gonna call it quits for the whole series, because they start off with a relatively simple mystery, you know. Well, first they introduced the world in Blood Omen, and they do a pretty good job of that, Silicon Knights. But then when Crystal Dynamics took over, they introduced a pretty fascinating scenario, superior in many ways to Silicon Knights' work. But then they strung out the mystery over 4 games, and so it becomes a problem of when are they actually going to start resolving things, because we're getting more and more questions, we're not getting any answers. Then finally they gave us some very juicy answers in Defiance. But yeah, I can understand that reviewer's frustration, and one of the very few times when I actually agreed with IGN, because yeah, if they kept stringing out the mystery of Raziel's destiny and Kane's destiny more and more, like, eventually at one point you just hit a point where you just want to quit.
The lights up ahead were a good sign. Maybe I wouldn't have to hike all the way down to the gas station to find a phone.
Yeah, at some point you would just hit the wall, and you would be like, you know what, nope, I do not want any more of this sort of this series, because they're never going to answer our questions. That's also what brought down Twin Peaks, wasn't it? Because David Lynch didn't want to reveal the identity of the murderer at all. He never wanted to show the killer in the series, and the studio did, so they basically made him do it after 12 episodes. And because he resolved the story, he didn't want to come back for season 2. He didn't want to deal with the meddling studio, and so that's why season 2 is such a mess and all scattered and unfocused, because they screwed up what David Lynch's plan for the series was. What he should have done was just say, well, here's the thing, we're not going to reveal it in season 1, but we'll do 1 or 2 more seasons of the show, and then we'll reveal the killer. Because that way at least you can convince them to make more episodes, and that you have a plan. But that they just took exception with him not wanting to reveal the killer at all. So the entire season of the show would be based around a mystery that you can't solve, which is kind of like how Black Christmas, the original, functions. You know, we never get any backstory on Billy besides the very few details he gives us over the phone. And Bob Clark said that it was all there, but the problem is it's not all there, Bob, you know. He didn't include enough clues to figure out exactly why the killer is doing this.
There? Please! I've been in an accident!
And so that's one detail that kind of holds that movie back for some people, the fact that we never really find out why the killer is doing what he's doing, or who he really is, or what's his end game motivation. And sometimes scarier, sometimes nothing is scarier. When you get very few details, sometimes it is scarier, but then other times it's just plain frustrating, because it's like, then how do we actually resolve the story? You know, what can we actually do to resolve this?
Hey!
There is no resolution, because there is no information, you know, to shine a light on why all this is happening.
Cabins for rent in
Oh, hell.
Oh, here we go.
Stucky.
Damn, they took over Stucky.
Non-refundable reservation deposit required. Fair and square. Fair and square.
Damn, they took over Stucky. We need a weapon. Where do we go? I've got to look into whether we can switch viewpoints or aiming, whatever, because it is really bugging the hell out of me that we're watching things from his right. I like the left side angle. I never use the right side angle in Control. I always switch it. Do we have to get all the manuscript pages for like an ending or something? I know we get it for the trophy, but does it help us in any way with the ending, or is it just for a collectible? Stucky's got boosties. Oh shit. Yeah, let's use that slow motion dodge. Hell yeah. We're like Neo, except we're a rider. God damn. Miscalculated that one. That did not work.
I had to figure a way out of this. Any second now, and Stucky would be knocking on the door with his axe like Nicholson in The Shining.
There it is, The Shining. We're gonna get framed for his murder, aren't we? We're gonna kill him, and then they're gonna ask why we killed him. Use D-pad to switch weapons and throwables. Got 12 bullets. Got batteries. Damn, those are huge ass batteries. They're the size of his whole hand.
I wasn't about to open the door, as long as I was liable to catch an axe with my forehead.
Of course he won't let you open it. Can we take that vest? I mean, technically, couldn't we just open the door, shine the flashlight at him, and then shoot him? We can catch him off guard.
During your trying walking.
Bright Falls, watery.
Incontestably proven health benefits.
Boy, I know what this is about. Watery. I've heard that. I'm sure you're tired of me saying this. I've heard it in Control. A certain character from that game chooses to visit that as his vacation. So I wonder if we go here. I wonder if we go to that place in this game, or if we have to wait until Alan Wake 2. 'Cause I kind of want to see that watery place.
Yes. Bright Falls Sheriff Station. How may I...
Hello?
Yeah, it's not that easy, Alan. Damn, chopped down the whole tree. I mean, the whole post. Yeah, it's not that easy. Oh shit, the tractor. I've heard of that one too. I've heard a lot of this crap. Yeah, none of this is a surprise. I've already heard that. I've heard that tractor is a freaking menace. Damn, look at that. That tractor, I mean that bulldozer, whatever the thing is, it threw down the entire house. It's gone. Holy shit. It threw down the entire
The bulldozer had gone over the cliff with the office. I hoped Stucky had suffered the same fate, but I wasn't planning on staying to find out.
Yeah, this is where the Xbox 360 just started sounding like a rocket ship about to take off around this place right here. That's when I realized this system may not be able to handle this game.
More of them.
You know, it might be slightly underpowered to handle what Alan Wake is capable of. God damn. Freak. Stay with the light. Stay with the light, Alan.
I'd never fired a gun outside a shooting range, and now I just killed someone. Or something.
Damn, we just got electrocuted.
It just disappeared. If I was dreaming, it felt real enough to make me sick.
That is one thing I've heard. People aren't prepared when they fire a gun for the first time. They don't quite understand how loud it is, how it can damage your hearing just by firing it. That's why when you're in a shooting range, you wear those headphones around your head. I guess they block out the sound, they muffle it so you don't go deaf from firing that gun. Especially when you're firing with other people too, because then they have their guns, so. Yeah, let's give it a good old kick, Alan. I'm sure that'll fix it.
The dark forest was the last place I wanted to go, but I had no choice. I had to get to the gas station.
Yeah, it's really annoying me that we're seeing from his left side. There's gotta be a way to switch that. Hopefully. I gotta look it up. Because yeah, I've gotten too used to control with its right side aiming. There's another game too that aims from the right side. I don't remember what it is, where you can switch the stance to aim either left-handed or right-handed. I don't remember what it is, but I know I always choose from the left. I never like this angle from the right. I just can't aim properly that way. Is it Resident Evil 4 remake? I'm not sure.
Graffiti was revealed by my flashlight. Someone had hidden a chest of supplies near it.
Right, we got a flare gun. Hell yeah. Yeah, what other game have I been playing where you can switch the aiming stance besides Control? I know there's one, but I don't remember what it is. I don't think it's RE4 remake, because that's over the shoulder. So it's not that, but I can't remember what other game it actually is. I don't think it's RoboCop. Yeah, I just can't remember. It's a stain right there. Okay, so we gotta reach the gas station. So are we going over that fence or not? Can we do anything with this? Oh yeah, we can. Yeah, there's the arrow right there, pointing the way. So let's follow the arrow. Let's read the page.
The Taken stood before me. It was impossible to focus on it, as if it stood in a blind spot caused by a brain tumor and eye disease. It was bleeding shadows like ink underwater, like a cloud of blood from a shark bite. I was terrified. I squeezed the flashlight like my life depended on it, willing it to stop coming any closer. Suddenly something gave, and the light seemed to shine brighter.
That's a good description right there. These also have logos on them. I wonder what they are. Oh, we gotta play nightmare mode to get the whole page. Oh, that's bullshit. Boo. I'm not playing this on nightmare mode until I master it. Hell no. Well, that sucks. We can't get all the pages in normal. We gotta play nightmare mode. Ugh. I hate when games do that. Where you absolutely have to play some collectibles on. You have to play the game on the hardest difficulty to get some collectibles. That sucks. I hate that. Let me have everything on normal. I get that it's a way to get you to play the game again and hopefully master it, but come on, you really gotta play on nightmare to get those other pages? Fuck. I guess we go over here. Okay, I just noticed a little save icon in the corner. This seems like a good stopping point. We gotta reach the gas station. Like I said, I think a little bit past this is where I probably left off. So not even a quarter of the game. Probably like 1/5 of the game. So I did leave off around that same area because I remember all this clearly now. It's all coming back to me. So yeah, like I said, I did play this before many years ago. So far it's nothing new. So far I remember all this happening. So I'm eager to see where it goes past this point, which I never got past. I never got past this. So, or at least this general area, because I remember a couple more areas after this. But then, right around that time is when I stopped playing the game. So that was a stopping point. So I look forward to seeing what comes after that. Like I said, I've been playing a lot of Control, and I've read a lot of the lore, including a couple things for Alan Wake 2. So I already know what happens at the end of this game. I know what happens to Alan. I know what happens to Dr. Hartman. I know what happens to Alice. I've already heard of Mr. Scratch. So I know quite a bit about this game, but I've just never seen it in person. You know, I've never actually seen those things happen as I'm playing the game. I've just read about them, or I heard other people talk about them, or watched a couple videos on them, but I have not gotten to those things myself in the game. So that's something I'm looking forward to. This is a decent game so far. I can see why some people might have been a bit frustrated with it, because the combat is really simple. You know, you just shine your flashlight. I was about to say chime. No, you just shine the flashlight at the enemy. You know, you enhance it a bit with the L2, bulk it up, and then shoot while they're engulfed in the light, and that's how you kill them. So very simple combat, nothing too complicated, nothing fancy. I can see how compared to other this isn't survival horror. This isn't survival horror, but I can see how compared to other similar type games at the time, it might have fallen a bit short in some people's view, because the combat is really simple and basic. Because that's not the point. The point of the game is the storytelling that's going on, and some of the weird stuff and nightmarish stuff that we'll come to see in the game. So it is pretty cool so far. And now that I started this, I can actually start the Alan Wake DLC in Control and go along side by side as I play them. You know, I'll play a little bit of Control, get some more lore over there, play Alan Wake, and go further into the game, and then hopefully at the end of it all, when I finish both of the games, you know, when I've beaten the two games completely, hopefully we'll get some news of a sale for Alan Wake 2, because they did do a sale for the I was about to say Steam, but it's not Steam, it's the Epic Game Store. They did do a sale for Black Friday for the PC version, but unfortunately it was only the PC version that went on sale, and it went on sale for literally $33, which is a steal. Like, for any new game, that's a freaking steal. The only one I would have seen lower would have been Jedi Survivor, that went as low as like $25 or $28 for Black Friday. Unfortunately, I bought it for a bit higher than that and used some gift cards to deduct from the total. But I probably should have gotten it at 25 or 28, because that would have been a hell of a steal for Jedi Survivor. But yeah, we saw a similar low price for Alan Wake. It's just that it's the PC version, and I do not have a PC suitable of running that game, not even my gaming laptop, so I just had to let it pass by. But I've played enough of Control and read enough of the lore surrounding Alan Wake that if I were to see that game on sale on the PSN store for like $40 or so, I will buy it at that point. You know, I'll use one of my gift cards, and I don't mind paying like 40 or 45 for the game. I just don't want to pay 60 or 65, because that's just ridiculous for a digital game. You know, the whole point of going digital was to save you money, according to them. We really know they just don't want to do any physical copies, period. Epic Games, we know that's the reason. They don't want to do any physical copies, but the whole rationale they gave you was, oh, it'll save you money, it'll cost cheaper. No, it costs like, the price is like $5 or $10 lower than it normally would be. That's not a freaking deal. So instead of paying 70, we're paying 60, like we did for PS3 era games or PS4 era games, because they were $59.99. So what? So we just went back to the PS4 price. Like, what kind of deal is that? We're still paying a lot for a digital game that we technically don't own. We're licensing it out. We're borrowing the license from Epic Games and Remedy to play it. So hell no, we need a physical disc for that. Definitely, we need a physical disc. It'll make it a lot easier to install for people who have a disk drive and don't have a good internet, which is like half of the United States, because our ISPs suck. We do not have good internet in the United States. We have terrible internet, thanks to Comcast and Verizon. So, you know, Xfinity sucks. So we need a physical copy of this game, of Alan Wake 2 at some point, whether they want to do it or not. But if I see it on sale, you know, at $40 or so, $45 even, I can go for that. I just don't want to pay above, say, $55 for a digital game. Like, that's insane. Or even above $50. It's just, you don't own it, and they can take it away from you anytime they want, and they can block you from playing the game. I heard a couple days ago, the Epic Game Store, like their server was down, and you literally could not play the game. The game that you paid for, the game that you paid $60 for, you literally could not play because the server was down and it had no way to verify you. That is some grade A bullshit. And that's just the type of stuff that happens when you go all digital with video games. We all end up losing, except for the company. The company makes out like bandits with all the cash they get from your digital sales, but we lose because we don't have any control over that game. We have no control, and they can take it over or take it away from us anytime they want. If they want to block you from playing the game, they will. And if something goes wrong with their servers, like what happened a couple days ago, you're screwed too. So it's just, there's no positives to going digital only. None. Because you don't save any money. The problems are numerous, and there's no solution for any of them. So I will not pay full price for it, but for 45 or 50 bucks, I'll buy it in combination with a gift card. You know, I'm not that cheap, you know. I just don't want to pay full price for it because it's digital. Give me a physical disc of the game, and then I'll pay full price for it with no gift cards. I'll buy it outright, just like I did for RoboCop and other games I bought recently. You know, I'll support you that way if you give me a physical disc. But yeah, this is a fun game, and I look forward to playing more of it. So thank you for watching, and I will see you again next time on Alan Wake Remastered on the PS5. See you later.